Good evening, everybody. So let's jump in. We'll do introductions. I'll let you know who all these people are up here, and then who's going to be on site, and who the contacts are going to be on site. If there's any questions or concerns as construction goes on, I'm sure there's not going to be any, but just in case there are, we'll let you know. We'll go over the schedule. We'll give you an update of the design as that has been finalized and approved. Logistic plan, and then we'll take questions at that point. As I just mentioned, at any point, if you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get you the mic so they can also hear the question online. So we'll start with introductions. I'm Matt Burrows, the superintendent of the Appoquinimink School District, and then we'll just kind of go around and do introductions. You want
to? Keith Hopkins. Wow, that one's way further away. Keith Hopkins with Appoquinimink School District.
Good evening. I'm Paul Drips, superintendent for Whiting Turner. I'll be on site every day constructing the building.
I am Dom Pavlik, project manager with Whiting Turner, and I will also be here on site every day.
Josh Quirk with Whiting Turner, project manager, and I will also be on site every day.
I'm Frank Lero, senior project manager for Whiting Turner. I'll be on site partially with our team.
And I'm Maureen Rosansky with BSA plus A ABHA, the design team, architectural and design team.
Scott Lester, architect, also with the design team. Ted Williams with Landmark Science and Engineering. We're the civil engineers for the project.
And we have one member of the team in the back there. We have Buck Simpers from BSA plus A.
Buck Simpers, architect and associates.
So where we are in the project currently is right where this yellow line is right now. So we're finishing up design documents, as I just mentioned, and we have put part of the building package out for bid at this point and have awarded bids. And then we're right on the cusp of starting construction here, and we'll talk about that in a little more detail. Just a design update where you're currently sitting right here, and then this is the existing building in white as you see up there, and then the construction area for the new building is highlighted in the yellow there on the screen. Once the new building starts construction's finished, then we'll move to the back for demolition. Whoa, I just got really loud. We'll move to the back for demolition of that site, and you'll eventually see that's where the park and the sports field will be. So here's a finished picture of the completed site, an aerial view of it. This is the what's the side of the building that will face the east. So you're looking at, could be considered the front, but this is facing, so when I say facing the east, it's actually facing New Street. That'll be the front. This is a closer picture of it, as you can see the entrance. We try to stay with the columns and things like that that you see at Reading now. This is the west side of the building. There's really not a front and back to the building, so this is the side that if we looked out of the auditorium now would be the side facing us. This is the outdoor classroom and entrance, what we'll consider entrance into the park area. That's the original front of the building, as you can see there, that we're going to reclaim and keep on site. This is our aerial view of the building, so you can kind of see there. This is the main entrance into the building. There will also be rear access of the building. You can see the parking with the sports field here. This is the outdoor classroom, original entrance into the building. Just a slight change. These basketball courts have moved. I think they were over here on this side at one point, so they've been moved over here. You can see the bus lot when it's completely finished. So just to kind of acclimate you, this is New Street here. Just as an FYI, they will be widening New Street. The town's widening New Street all the way down. And then this is Lake Street. We're not sure on the timeline on Lake Street, but we know New Street's going to be starting this. Yeah. This is the view from the west. So you can kind of see the sports field there on the west side of the building. All right, now we'll get into logistical planning, and I'll turn it over to Frank.
Yep. If I could have your pointer there, please. Yeah. So as Matt was saying, we are gearing up. Our team will be mobilizing here actually the week of the 10th. We will have on-site field office trailers. So there's a lot that goes into a logistics plan for us and for contractors. So we tried to simplify it to what we thought was most important to, the student, the staff, the community. So we did it in chunks of time. So what you're seeing here, we're starting work in April, and it'll be late April. And what we have to do is get the new bus loop that you saw there. Which one's the pointer, Matt? That one. So we have to get this bus loop and connector completed for when school starts next August. So our first order of business is to work in this green area that's just grass today. So we're going to be utilizing this maintenance road, access road at the rear of the site, and working through here, getting that road cut, getting that road and parking lot cut in. The simple explanation to everyone is we're not changing any traffic pattern on campus between when we start in April and when school ends in the middle of June. So this pink area will remain, this is all existing, will remain as is. So parents and buses will still enter off of New Street, come up, use the bus lot, use the visitor lot, use the staff lot, and then exit as they currently are. You see, this is where our trailers will be towards the rear of the property, along Lake Street and along the end of that bus loop. Exactly. Yeah, we're very close to where those temporary classrooms are now. So this gets us to, June 15th plus or minus, when students and then teachers will be, gone for the summer. So then in the summer months, we take over all the green space you see on here. So this bus, the existing bus lot goes away because that's where the new building will sit, and then we will continue the new bus lane here, and then continue to connect it all the way around. So our focus for the summer, as we said, is to get this new bus lane in so that it's functional and usable in middle of August of 23. So we will have this pink area of which is currently basically the staff parking lot will remain accessible because there will be staff here, main office staff, custodial staff. There will be main office staff through the summer. And this will also be where we'll have signage along our fence line and along the building. This will be where the entry to the building will be for the summer. So when parents are coming to register, new students for whatever, they'll enter at this point, which is basically the student drop-off entry today. So we'll have signage there on the exterior, signage directing people, new to the building to the main office to get registration done for the summer. We will be installing construction fencing, kind of following these two phases. I can't go back. Yeah, I can't go back. So we'll start with fencing in this phase to contain our construction activities, and then we'll expand the fencing when we take more, of the campus for construction. This in the summertime, this existing entry on New Street will become dedicated to construction only. So when when the bulk of the staff and students return for school year 23-24, this will be what we're all living with. So the buses will utilize the new permanent entrance off of New Street, and Ted, just jump in if I'm saying something wrong on permanent, but buses will enter at this point on New Street, will stage here for drop off, and the buses will continue to leave out the rear road that will be newly paved, and then they'll either turn left or right onto Lake Street. Yeah, it's going to get widened from its current configuration.
And Frank,
Yes.
one point there where that little purple area is, that's where school will have a staff member there to help direct parents because the
Yep.
drop off comes.
Yeah, well, I'm
Are you
I'm
going
just
there? Okay.
going in baby steps to get all the information out. So as the buses, so we'll do buses, drop off, then walkers, kind of all three of those scenarios. So when the buses park here, the students will be utilizing this auditorium parking lot right outside here. And they'll be entering the building either, they're going to make an accessible, handicap accessible entrance at grade off one of the side doors right here. They won't come into the auditorium, they'll come into the corridor. There's a set of stairs that's available. The school staff is not too keen on using those. So we probably will have the students get onto the sidewalk that's immediate to the building and then enter at the existing main entrance to the building. So we'll work with the school staff to finalize those details of getting students in and out, depending on weather, depending on time of year. But that's the path of travel for the bus drop-off students and for buses. Entering here, staging here in their permanent lot, and then the buses exit onto Lake Street. So for parent drop-off, it's going to change significantly from what everyone's used to today. So the parent drop-off will enter from at this same point on Lake Street. This is a 2-lane road, so parents will be heading this way, if you can follow my cursor, and then we're going to connect temporarily this road to this existing parking lot. So this kind of elongated S shape, backwards S shape, is a temporary roadway, asphalt driveway that will be constructed for parents to then make this left turn and then get on this path of travel. So the blue is all parent drop-off travel. And then they'll come around and stage along this entire run to do their morning drop-off. And they're gonna continue the same direction here. They're gonna exit at this point here, and then again either be able to go left or right at onto Lake Street. So now there's two crossover points, as Ted had mentioned earlier. Here we have parent vehicles making a left turn, in between bus traffic. So there will be a staff member to hold the parents while buses leave, so they can make that turn safely. And then as students dismount the buses, we'll have a staff member here as well to hold parent traffic so that the students can cross safely. Is all that making sense? And then the third group we have will be our walkers, which we understand is a large group of students. The existing sidewalks will still be available along New Street and along Lake Street. So the intent is that the walkers would, from either direction, coming down New, coming, from the opposite end down Lake Street, they would be entering campus here at this point where there is existing sidewalks, and then the walker traffic would enter at this current at this side entry here that's being used now for parent drop-off. So it will be a very different campus come August of 23. We will have signage throughout campus on our construction fencing. We will make these plans available through the district to the community, to the parents, so they understand where they're supposed to be heading. Yeah, so this same pink lot is still the staff parking lot. So this remains unchanged. As you can see, if you can read it here, the new building pad does encroach on this section of parking lot. So we do have to get into that. So we can't make that portion of lot available. But this staff parking remains. The visitor parking along the frontage of Reading does stay intact, with the exception of about 4 or 5 spaces on the drawing, the left-hand side, because that will be one area we need our first crane position to be. So we'll have those marked out. That probably won't happen until late fall when we take those spaces offline. But that will be a slight change to the visitor parking. Yes, so we won't have, so to make sure parents are using this entry point off Lake, because there is 3 kind of what we call curb cuts on Lake Street. So we're going to work with the staff to get cones and barricades so that at arrival and dismissal time, these are blocked so parents can't get in and use the wrong path. Right. So that we direct them to this new entry point. So again, signage on property, signage on campus. This drawing will be made available, as we said, with any more information we want to put on it, so parents and staff are aware of the new traffic circulation, because this will be the condition for 2 school years. So this will be starting in August of 23 and will be all the way until the end of school year in 25 in June. So I know it's a lot of new information. I tried to, I don't want to rush through it, but I just wanted to make sure we kind of hit on most of the high points. I think.
Hey, Frank, you might want to mention where you're having contractors park, so they're not interrupting parking space on the campus.
Yeah, so we are, again, by keeping this staff, the current school staff parking lot available, we've worked with the St. Joseph Church on the opposite side of New Street to secure about 80 parking spaces during construction. So construction workers will be parking off-site, and then they'll have a short walk to get onto property and to get onto the work area. So we did obviously take that into account as we were planning the whole project. This kind of whitish area, this white empty space, this is new parking for the new building. We're going to obviously install it in its due sequence with the rest of the new construction, but we will need that space for material laydown, material storage, so we can't quite make that available to the construction workers for parking of their vehicles. Did I miss anything else? Not quite yet. So then this is just some signage that we're going to post. I know you probably can't see all of them, but there's a lot of different types of signage we want to be having. So this is here, parent drop off, left turn only. No bus traffic only at this point. So we're really just forcing parents to make this left turn. Again, at the entry points here, making it staff entry that it's currently marked at now, staff entry, staff exit, parent exit. So again, just there will be a lot of signage. We're trying to make it concise, but still clear. So it's not a lot of words that people have to read while they're driving. So we're going to kind of just, that'll continue to evolve as the construction progresses.
One other thing, Frank, is that bus parking lot will be available after hours for special events. So you have school open house or activities in the gym or the auditorium or anything like that, that's going to be available for parking. So there'll be more than adequate parking on the campus. Existing students.
Yes, so our fencing obviously will make this, our fence will basically hug, you can kind of see this red line demarks the new bus lot, and then this black line's kind of like the extent of our building. It gets pretty tight, you know, so we will have fencing to separate and maintain that separation. But yeah, you're right, Ted, that lot will be available. The basketball goals are going to leave. I don't think we have any provisions yet to put those here because they are going to go on the new courts when we finish those. Yep. Yeah. So this gets us, like I said, through 2025. The new school will open August of 25, and then we have to still demolish existing Reading. So those fields that we showed, sorry, I know I'm jumping back and forth, but those fields we're showing, you know, since we can't start demolition of old Reading, I'm sorry, of old Reading until, you know, middle of June of 25, the amount of work can't be done by the fall of 25 to get all the grass to take. So we're going to get the demo done as quickly as we can, get the regrading done and finish this hardscape. And then depending on how the winter of 25, 26 goes, get this grass down as quickly as we can. But, you know, we've made, you know, the team aware that this work could stretch into spring and summer of 2026. So we're going to be here a while, and, you know, just trying to make everybody's lives as stress-free as possible while we're here.
The first part of it will probably be the noises around that back, but that's in the classroom wing on that side. But afterwards, all the classrooms are in the back where construction's happening. So in the front of the building is the gym, cafeteria, things like that. So all the teaching wings are in the back of the building. So the noise will be much more reduced.
Yeah. Yeah, and thanks for reminding me, Keith. And while we're in this kind of back corner at the end of this school year, you know, there is classrooms along this wing. We will be providing a screening to try to limit the distraction to some of the students, similar to like what you see with windscreen on fencing. Try to just block that view, because we will be working there during, you know, normal working hours during the school hours to try to help limit distraction that the construction may cause.
So Frank, if someone has a question while construction is going on, where do they need to go and who they need to contact?
So our first line of defense will be Paul Drips, our superintendent, on site. And actually we have one of our assistant superintendents, St. Jerome, here with us as well. So our team and all of this team, myself, will be working in that WT trailer. We will get all of our phone numbers out to the staff and get that out to whoever needs. But Paul and then Dom will be your first 2 points of contact. But anyone is welcome to stop by our trailer if you have questions. You know, that's especially on a project like this. That's why we're on site, because it is impacting the day-to-day operations of the school. You know, that's why we feel the need to have our team down here on site. So that's part of that process.
Any questions?
So my question was, with the entrance moving to the front, so the students are going to come down. Parents are going to come down this new parking area, and they're going to enter into the front of the building. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, the blue color there.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So they'll enter left or right from Lake Street, come down, make the left here. So they're kind of going in a what's that, counterclockwise fashion. That they're basically flipping of how their direction, their flow of traffic from today. Yeah, and that's exactly why we did it that way, because the first time me and my team made a pass at this, I had them going the other way. And then a conversation with the school was like, well, we already have a stacking problem.
Yes.
So by having this entire run at the rear and coming all the way down, and then even, basically I'm envisioning parents stopping here, stacking up, and then let them out, and then they start exiting. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Steve, any questions online?
Better than looking at our logistics plan.
So thank you very much for coming out tonight and for your interest. We're available. This presentation will also be on our website. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you can look there. Feel free. In the meantime, we're waiting for the construction trailer and all to get set up. Feel free to send me any questions that you have. We'll try to get those answered for you. We want this to go as smoothly as possible, and also to be the least amount of invasiveness as possible as we do new writing.
I do want to mention one other thing that wasn't quite noted on our logistics plan. When we start this first phase in April, there's an existing fence along the rear of the property with a gate and a pathway from the neighborhood immediately, back in this area. We will have to close and secure that gate because they'll be walking into, construction zone. So we will have to.
That gate's not gonna go away as a whole, because that's gonna be important.
Exactly. Yes, if anyone knows any people that live in that neighborhood, you can pass that word along when
I know
they.
somebody.
And we'll have signage that directs them to, enter, from Lake Street, but yeah, that'll be one thing we forgot to mention. So. Okay.
Well, thank you, everyone. We'll stick around if you have any questions or didn't feel comfortable asking them. We'll stick around, and again, feel free to reach out at any point. Have a good night. Thank you.